Hello. Just going to tilt this up a little bit. Right, there, hello. Welcome to Wednesday's functional fitness class. Right, people have been asking me about the dog. Dog stories are really, really boring unless you've got a dog. So make yourself a cup of tea, finish your knitting, do whatever you like. He's fine, he's recovering now. For those that aren't in the know, he swallowed a small Satsuma-sized tennis ball and he had to have abdominal surgery to get it out, which is lovely at the age of 7 months. Anyway, he's young, so he's recovered very quickly. But the other night we were out. Sorry, this has nothing to do with exercise. We were out the other night. We were on he's on a long training lead, and we were out in a field where there's no other dogs really. So I thought, oh, it'll be all right, let him have a good run. So I let go of the lead and he was running around. And then my daughter, who was with me, said, he's got another ball. And they'd only found another ball exactly the same that somebody had obviously lost. Their own dog had obviously dropped it, and I could not get that. He was just too far away from me to stamp on the lead and get him. And the same thing, it was the same scenario. He would not come. He knew he shouldn't have it. He was going, trying to swallow it down. And I just totally freaked. But luckily, my daughter had a shopping bag, and he loved sticking his head in the shopping bag. So she rattled that and then got out some bits of bread and threw them for him. And it diverted him enough so that I could get hold of the lead and get the ball off him. But I had visions of having to go back to the vet and saying, the same thing's happened again. I mean, what an irresponsible dog owner that would make me. Anyway, the dog's fine now. He's upstairs asleep because we've just been out. That's why my hair's a bit wet. So what I want to talk about today is bite-sized exercises. I talked about it a little bit last Wednesday, but you can get into the mindset, and I do this myself, you can get into the mindset of thinking that if you're not going to do a formal set of exercises, you know, like we do with a warm-up, a main body of the exercise and a stretch, there's no point in doing anything. So you're sitting there thinking, oh, I should be exercising. Oh, I can't be bothered to do half an hour's exercise or 3/4 of an hour's exercise. And I get into that mindset myself, so I know what it's like. But there are things you can do. You can just sit and do bite-sized exercises, and I'm going to show you now. Hi, Prue. I'm going to show you some now. So if you're sitting watching television, I'm going to take this back. Right, if you're sitting watching telly, you would be in a comfy chair, obviously. What you can do, I'm just going to put this down a bit. What you can do, in fact, I can move in a bit so you can see my legs, my feet, my ankles. Right, so you're watching the telly, and what you can do is just stretch one leg out in front. I'll do it sort of diagonally, and just instead of just rotating your ankle, which is quite boring, I think. I've obviously got a very low boredom threshold. It's just write your name. So do an R and an O and an S. And you can do the same with the other foot. If you've got a very short name, you can go through the alphabet. So you can do A, B. Only do a few letters because you'll get bored before you get to Z. I guarantee it. You can do half on one foot, half on the other. But it's really good for keeping your ankles nice and supple. And it's hello again. Yeah, it's a bit more tiring than you think. But it keeps your ankles supple, and it keeps the muscles in your ankles strong. And it's important to have strong ankles because a lot of falls are caused by weak ankles or inflexible ankles. I say this all the time. If you're falling and you can't catch yourself. One more that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do some more bite size next week because I think it's really important this, because I think it's important to get out of the mindset that exercise needs to be formal and it needs to be a set amount of time, that you can do exercises whenever. Another exercise that's really, really good is just standing on your toes, just up on tiptoe, just like that. Or you could just practice walking on tiptoe. That's great for balance as well. It's good for your ankles and your calves. Don't have your high heels on at the time. It's good for your ankles and your calves. And it gives a bit more purpose than just going up and down like that. You can just walk around the house for a bit like that. And one other thing, just before we go, because it's 11 o'clock, I thought, oh, I'll try this. I'm just going to bring this in because I want to use this to balance on. You could try, so you can go up and down, both feet, or if you want to get a bit more stretch, you can go onto the stair, have your heels down, and then go up. That just gives you a bit more range. But I thought I'd try this, and I was doing this. I thought, I wonder if I can do it on one leg. Blimey, it's hard. You try that. And it's quite a balancing one as well. But because it's hard, remember, I just thought it means I need to do it more, not less. Anyway, those are the bite. I'm never very sure whether it should be bite size or bite sized. Anyway, I'll do some more bite size next week. So, who's all here? I can do the 1 foot balance barefoot for a long time, but wearing shoes only for a few seconds. Ah, that's interesting. I'm better with my shoes on because it's broader than my foot. Bite size, really good idea. Thank you, Elizabeth. Right. So, just get that right. Welcome to the class. I'm sort of been advertising the class on a few more Facebook pages, so I don't know if we've got any new people here this week or not. So I'll assume that we have. And so welcome to the functional fitness class, which is fitness that helps you cope with day-to-day life. It's not for beach body or to lose weight. Remember, you exercise to be strong. You don't exercise to be thin. So you need a chair and a band if you have one. If you haven't got one, just do the exercise, do the movements without the band. Don't know why I'm flapping my arms like that. Most of the exercises can be done in the chair. If you can't stand up and you want you want to talk to me about doing chair exercises, please feel free to get in touch with me. Right, so I think we're going to start with a warm-up. We'll start just very gently. I can't remember if there's anything else I should have told you, but I can't remember. So we're just going to start very gently warming up, just walking on the spot. And here you can do it on your toes. Good for your calves, good for your ankles, good for your feet as well. You don't need to raise your knees very high. It's just a very, very gentle. Exaggerate the swing of your arms slightly. I'm going to come a bit forward. I always feel like Peter Kay when I'm doing that, you know, the Amarillo song. Just to get your shoulders a little bit mobilized. Delivery van. All you get is delivery vans up and down the street all the time now. Right, 3, 2, 1. Ah. Right, so put your hands on your shoulders. Now, when you're doing this exercise, you can keep walking if you want, but you don't need to. So we're going to stretch up. Just have a good old stretch. Try and get your hands by your ears. If you can't, if you've got impaired shoulder mobility, some people have torn their rotator cuffs or they've got a frozen shoulder, just go as high as you can. Don't try and force it. Just go to as high as is comfortable. So up there and then back down, push out, bring it back in, push forward, bring it in. So up to the sky, down, out you go, back in, forward, back. One more time, up, and sideways, and forward, and back. Fabulous. Right. We're going to concentrate on mobilizing and warming up the arms and shoulders because your shoulders are it's a very mobile joint. And so we need to make sure that it's properly warmed up so that you don't injure yourself. So putting hand on shoulder so that you've got a wing and it sticks out at 180 degrees. And I thought geometry would never be useful, eh? And imagine you've got a pencil on the end of your elbow. And we're going to do 5 big circles back. So we're going to go full range of movement. 1, nice, slow and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5, fab, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm laughing because I can feel when I do that, I can feel my shoulder blade going. And then your other arm, don't forget the pencil has magically transferred to your other elbow. And we're going to go back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fabulous. Just to keep your shoulders nice and mobile. Hi, Pam. Glad to see you back again. Right, the last arm one, I really like this one, as those who are regular attendees can attest. Oh, it's a bit of a sentence. It's just raising one arm and at the same time the other one goes out as far. You don't want to rock backwards and forwards. It's only your arms that move and they only go as far as is comfortable, remember. Don't force anything. And there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. It'll pop into my head. So we're going to go, that's 1. We're going to do them 10 times. That's 2. It's good for your back, this as well, your upper back. 3, because when you do that, your upper back is pulling. 4, muscles can only pull. 5, they can't push. 6, so if you think this arm comes up. 7, something's got to be pulling it. So it's the muscles in your back that are pulling it. 8, it's quite logical, really. 9, 10. Fabulous. I do like that one. I really do. If you do that, you can feel the muscle in your back moving. It's always good if you're doing it an exercise with one limb to feel it, to feel the muscle moving. Right. We're going to start doing heel digs. And at the same time, we're going to anchor your elbows here. And we're going to do a bicep curl with the opposite limb. So it's left leg, right arm, right leg, left arm. I hope I said that right. Just nice and slowly. But this is strength, balance, warming up. It's everything. 3, 2, 1. Fab. And then I'm just going to move the chair out of the way. And then we're going to do just leg out to the side. And at the same time, prayer hands. And you're going to push the air away from you. Nice and slow. When you do this, try not to let your knee fall in like that. Try to keep your knee and your hip bones pointing forward like headlights. So this one is balance, strength, flexibility, I suppose. 3, 2, 1. It's a compound exercise because you're doing your knees and your shoulders at the same time. Next one we're going to do is we're going to take just a step back. Again, balance, strength. Hands here, little dinosaur handies, and pushing out. Again, keep your knees facing forward. My right knee has a tendency to want to turn in, and I have to sort of try and keep it out. 3, 2, 1. And finally, we're just going to do a toe tap. And at the same time, just swing the opposite arm. Give it quite a big swing. Slightly exaggerated swing so that your shoulder is actually moving. Because we want to get those shoulder joints nice and warm, mobile. 3, 2, 1. Right, now we're going to put all that together so that this is good for coordination, memory. It's good for memory, coordination, flexibility, balance, strength. Oh, it's just got everything. I might patent it. So we're going to do heel digs. Remember, opposite arm and leg. Side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. See my knees wobbling then? Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. We'll do one more time. Heel dig, side, whoops, back, lap of toe tap, lapse of concentration then. Well done. We're going to do that again at the end, but we'll do it a bit faster and pretend that we've got music. Right, just before we go into the actual exercise bit, I'm just going to do a little bit of, I don't know if we can, we'll try this. I was going to do shadow walking, you know, walking like the shadows do, but I'm going to do this one. Sort of Greek dancing one. I don't have a long living room to do this with, but so just let me, right, yes. I always have to do it a little bit to myself. So you put your left leg over your right, depends which way you're going. If you're going the same way as me, you put your left leg over your right, and then you bring your right leg there, and then you put it behind and there. It's not difficult. Do you want me to turn round? In which, no, if I turn around, I'll be doing it a different way. So you're going there, 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 there. And then the other way, right leg over your left, together, back, together. Once you get it going, you get a bit of a twist in your spine. I don't know whether, give me some feedback on this later. I don't know whether it's, oh, look, see, be careful. I tripped over my foot there. And then it's better if you've got a long field to do this in. I think we'll leave it there because I'm not absolutely convinced of how useful that is. Right, we'll go into the main body of the exercise now. And you may or may not need your chair. We're going to start with a squat. Let me put the band there. Now remember, a squat is sitting down without the chair. It's not your knees going forward. Now you need quite a lot of strength in your thighs and your bum to get right down. But if you can get the technique right and only go to there, that's absolutely fine, because that will still strengthen. You're still having to hold, and eventually you'll be able to get down. If you can't do a free squat yet, and it's good technique I'm after, so your knees mustn't come in. You have to, it's like that. So watch, when somebody sits down, watch what they do. They don't do that. They sit down like that. So if you can't do a free squat, sit on the chair, hands here, and stand up and down nice and controlled. If you can't do that, swing your arms to give you momentum and then back down. If you can't do that, as a last resort, put your hands on your knees and push yourself up and then back down again. Okay? But the aim of this exercise eventually is to get you standing without ever using your hands. Standing up off the couch, off the dining table, dining chairs, anything like that. Do try not to use your hands. So I'm going to do free squats. You use the chair or free squats, whatever you like. So we're going to do 10, nice and slow and controlled. I'll start off sideways so as you can see the position. I'm going to put my hands here just because I need to put them somewhere. So we're going to go down, 1, down, 2, nice and slow. If you're only going down to there, hold it there until I go up again. Down, 3. I fell backwards because my weight is on my heels. Down, 4. If you're afraid of falling back, have the chair behind you. 5. Show you what my knees are doing. Down, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice and slow and controlled. Right, the next one, you need your chair. So you're sitting on the edge of your seat, legs straight, feet pulled back. Loop your band over your feet in the instep so that it doesn't ping off. But your feet, your legs and feet are like that throughout this whole exercise. They don't move. Your heels are always on the floor. If you haven't got a band, just do the arm exercises. You can have the stance if you want. So have quite a bit of tension on the band. And what you're doing is your torso, your back doesn't move at all. And you're just pulling your arms back like that. Now, they're not going up. They're sort of skimming your thighs and just going back. We'll hold it there a couple of seconds. Just imagine you've got a can of Coke between your shoulder blades. And then down. And then back. You can alter the tension on the band to suit you. 3. Any of the exercises. 4. Should be fairly easy to start with. 5. But then towards 6. Say from now on, you should be looking forward to reaching number 10. 7. 8. Control it when it comes out as well. 9. And you should be glad that this is the last one. 10. That's the beauty of a band, is you can control the tension. If you've got weights, you've got to keep buying different sizes of weights to do various things. Right. We're going to do, remember, if you're doing a squat, remember I was saying about not letting your knees come in. That's because these muscles are weak. I'm going to tilt it down just slightly. That's because those muscles are weak. So we're going to strengthen those by lifting our leg to the side. I used to do this. You can do it sitting down with a band, but I think this is more effective. It's harder. So your leg is just going out to the side. If it was your arm, it would just be raising like that. It's just raising like that. You're not going right to the side. Doesn't matter how high you get your leg, as long as your toe is pointing forward, you're not turning. So we're going to do 10 on each side and do them at my speed. You can hold on, it's not a balancing exercise. So 1. When you bring your leg down, don't put your full weight on it, just bring it down. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. This is good for I've got an itch, static leg as well. 7, because it's taking your weight. 8, so it's strengthening it. 9. 10. Fabulous. Other side now. 1. Oh, this one's a bit more difficult on this side. 2. 3. I always like exercises, standing up for exercises if you can, because it's just better for you. 4. I can really feel this one. 5. Make sure you lift your leg and don't kick it up. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Well done. That's a tough one. Give your hips a bit of a wiggle. I just want to show you something quickly. Look. You can actually do that one in bed. If you're lying in bed, just lie on your side, have your legs straight out. You can just rest your hand on your elbow. Just do that. And then down. How's that for a bite size? Have your hand here to support yourself. So you can just do that before you get up in the morning. So I did my exercises and then I got out of bed. Right. Next one, you need your band for this. It's a bicep curl. So you're going to stand on your band and you're going to have tension. You're going to put your anchor your elbow into your waist. I have it sort of just on my hip bone. And you're going to have enough tension on the band so that if when your forearm is at 45 degrees, you're having to consciously keep it there. If you let go, it would do that. And then we're just going to shut the elbow. It's not lifting. Your elbow doesn't leave your side. It just closes. 1, and then goes down to about there. 2, keep the tension on this upper arm with the band. 3, 4, this is good for your hand as well because you're having to increase the tension. 5, 6, yeah, you're having to grab it, so it's good for your forearm as well. 7, 8, 9, it's getting a bit tough now. 10. When you're doing exercises, challenge yourself. If you get to 10 and you think, oh, that's nothing, then either get a heavier band or increase the tension on the band. So that's there. I understand the top of my head's cut off, but I can't be bothered to move the camera. 1, it's my arm you need to see anyway. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. How did that go? Right, the next one we're going to do is just improving balance. And for this one, we're going to engage core. You probably hear quite a lot about the core. It's like a corset, but it goes deep within your body. It's not just the muscles you can feel on the outside. So we're going to breathe out, pull your navel into your backbone as hard as it can, and then release slightly, relax slightly. And that's your core engaged. Hold on if you need to, hover your hand if you need to, or you can put your hands on your hips. And we're going to just raise one leg there. If you can get your thigh parallel to the floor, well and good. If not, just raise it as high as you can. Sorry, we'll start that again because I was chattering. So exhale, pull your navel into your backbone and relax slightly. And then we're going to go up and then lift it slightly higher. Ooh, I'm falling over. Lift it slightly higher and then down. Don't stand on it, just touch it on the ground. Up and then up again and then down. I'm a bit wobbly today. Up, oh, up. That's 3. Up. That's 4. Sometimes it takes you a while just to find your balance. 5. 6. Ooh. 7. 8. My other leg is getting tired now. 9. 10. Right, other side. Whew. Give your legs a bit of a wiggle, because that, your static leg will have been taking a lot of strain. Right, so exhale. Don't know why I do that. Pull your navel into your backbone and tighten everything up, and then release it slightly and breathe. So we're going to go up and then up. This side feels a lot easier for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Well done. Give yourself a bit of a wiggle. Right. Now we're going to do an exercise that is good for your back, the small of your back, these muscles that go up the side of your backbone that you can feel, your erector spinae, and your glutes. So we're going to standing upright, holding onto the chair, just holding onto the chair, just for, you don't have to actually, yeah, it's probably easier if you do. And then all you're doing is lifting that one leg back. It's straight. Let me just see. It's not sort of rigidly straight. Well, it might be better to be rigid. Doesn't really matter. It's straight, but your leg, these muscles are pulling your leg up. Remember I said muscles can only pull. Sorry, I'm just going to have a look at this because the computer is changing colour a bit. Anyway, we'll try again. Yes, remember I said muscles can only pull, they can't push. So your glutes and your back muscles are pulling your leg up. Your leg is like the weight. So we're going to go, just hold it out there for a moment. Don't bend it. And then in. 1, don't put your weight on it. 2. When it's back there, just poke your glute and feel this muscle here. 3, you can feel that it's under tension. 4, it's only your leg that moves. Try to resist the temptation to lean forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to do the other leg. Give a bit of a wiggle if you want to release, because you've been standing on one leg again. There's a lot of standing on one leg, isn't there? So we're going to do the other one. 1, remember, just check that it's not, I don't suppose it matters if it's bent actually, because it's still your glutes and your back that's pulling it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful. Right. Aha, we need the band again. So we're going to do the triceps one. That's these muscles here on the back of your arm. And this is the one where you're holding it over one shoulder and your opposite arm is holding onto its back. This arm controls the tension. So one arm is back here like this. I'll just put this up a wee bit because you do need to see this. So one arm is back like that. And if you've got problems, shoulder mobility problems, have your start off with your arm here. If your arm's like this, you're just pushing to the ceiling. Your shoulder doesn't move, it's just your forearm. If you do it starting here, you push to the floor. You're using exactly the same muscles. Right, and the tension is up to you. Don't have it too tight, Elsa, because these muscles aren't all that strong. So you might think it's okay to begin with and then get to number 10 and think, I do that sometimes by accident. Right, so I'm going to turn my back so you can see what I'm doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the other side. Oh. Ready? Oops, I got the tension too tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've just realised we forgot one, haven't we? So we haven't done our abs. So let me put this down a bit. So we're going to sit sideways on the chair. Hold on here if you want, but if not, sitting up nice and straight. Make sure that your feet can comfortably reach the floor. So if you're a bit shorter, you'll need to shuffle forward a bit. If you're tall, you can sit further back. And you're sitting nice and straight, hands straight, so that your middle fingers are just above your kneecap, just touching the top of your kneecap. And then you're just going back very slightly, so that your middle finger is about an inch above your kneecap. Not above that way, but above this way. And then we're just going to go 1, just lifting legs like that. 2, nice and slow and controlled. Your back starts to hurt, sit forward a bit. It means you're leaning back too much. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just sit forward a moment. Give yourself a bit of a wiggle. We're going to do it again in a minute. Right. Middle finger on your kneecap. Back slightly about an inch. And we're going to go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful. Right. We're going to do, because this is slightly out of sync, we wouldn't normally do the abs and then the squats, but we're going to do squats because I'm out of sync. So we're just going to go straight into the squats, whether you need to do it on the chair or free squats. It's entirely up to you. We're going to do 10, nice and slowly. So 1, 2, see my toes coming off the ground then. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a bit jerky today, isn't it? 8, 9, 10. Well done. Yeah, does the picture seem a bit jerky to you? Right. Last one before we do our routine is the dreaded side bends. So have your feet at least hip width apart, maybe slightly wider than hip width. And remember, if you're going to use your other arm, keep it straight so that you're actually engaging the muscles. So we're going to go down. Oh, yeah, just quite jerky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nearly there. Other side. So 1. Oh, the first one is always horrible. 2. Oh. 3. I'm sure side bends. Oh, didn't take this much effort when I was young. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh, give yourselves a clap if you did that. Right, we're going to just go through that routine that we did before with the heel digs and things. We're going to do it a couple of times just slowly so that it gets in your memory again. Although those of you that have been with me since April will be old hands at this. And then we're going to pretend that we've got music on. I can't play real music. And we're going to do it fairly fast. It should be a fun thing, you see. I wanted this. It's a nice way to end, you know, doing a bit of dancing and exercise. But those spoil sports at the Performing Rights Society won't let me. Anyhow, so we're going to do heel digs push to the side, back, and toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One more time slowly. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, pretend you've got music on. Heel dig, side, back. Maybe you do have music on. Toe tap. Heel dig. We've got rhythm inside of us, haven't we? Toe tap. Music in your head. Heel, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One more time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Well done. Did you manage to keep up with that? Just let me go and get my watch. You haven't quite finished yet. I don't know where my watch is. I'll have to use my phone. And before you start saying it's on your wrist, it's not the right watch. Right, well, we're going to finish off before we go into the stretches, so don't go dashing off. We're going to finish with 3 bouts of 20 seconds of high intensity exercise. So remember, the high intensity that we're doing is running on the spot. Tiny, tiny little steps, tiny steps. Use your arms as well, because your arms power you forward. Don't hunch your shoulders. Nice and relaxed on your shoulders. We're going to do 3 bouts of that of 20 seconds with a little bit of rest in between. So if you're ready, on your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. How was that? You puffed out? High intensity stuff is very good for you. It's very good for visceral fat, you know, the fat that's around your organs. It's very good for your heart and lungs because it makes the blood pound through you a bit. Obviously, if you've got any worries about it, don't do it. If you get any chest pain or anything whilst you're doing it, stop immediately. But I mean, I'm working on the assumption that you know your own body's best, so you'll be sensible about it. We're all adults, aren't we? Nominally, anyway. So I'll give you a few more seconds. This bit never gets any easier, so the bad news, because as you get fitter, you give it a bit more welly. How you can recognize how you're getting fitter is not by the effort it takes, but how long it takes you to recover. And the shorter your recovery time, the fitter you are. So, oops, come on you. Hang on, you get a little bit more rest because my phone went off. Well, went to sleep. Right, you ready? On your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Einstein was right about relativity, isn't it? Wasn't he? 20 seconds when you're doing that seems a long, long time. I think it does anyway. It's not a very nice day today. I don't know what it's like where all you lot are, but it's dreich here today. Dreich. It's been raining. Right. How are we feeling? Are we ready? Oops. Staring upstairs. I exercise the dog before I do the class because I want him to sleep through it. But it's such a long time since he was a puppy and you saw him that I want him to come down and you can see what a beautiful boy he is. But he just likes to sleep upstairs. Maybe he's shy. Right, you ready? I've become one of those people that talk about their dogs all the time. Ugh. Are you ready? On your marks, set, go. $17, $18, $19, $20. Well done. If you've done all three of them, that's brilliant. If you haven't, that's absolutely fine. It's something to aim towards. Right, we're going to go into the stretching now, but just when you're getting, I'll give you a couple of seconds to get your breath back. As is usual, if you've enjoyed the class and you want to buy me a coffee, the link is under the video bit. I never know how to explain this. If you're looking at it on a laptop, you've got the video, and then underneath there are comments, and I put the link there. If you have difficulty, if you want to buy me a coffee and you're having difficulty finding the link, let me know, and I will send you the link. Everything is electronic, isn't it? Right. We're going to start by stretching the calf muscles. So you need the chair. Make sure that when you're standing like this with your front knee bent and your back knee straight and your heel on the ground, that both feet are pointing in the same direction. Some people think their feet are, and they look down and the back foot is sort of splayed out like that. It would be sort of out like that. They both need to be pointing forward. And sometimes our limbs have a mind of their own. They don't seem to. What's going on in your head is not what's happening in reality. And then just very gently bend your back knee, and your heel will come off the ground. Put a bit of weight on it, and you should feel the stretch going down into the Achilles tendon, into your lower calf muscle, which, as you all know, is called your soleus. And I just do that to show that I actually do know what I'm talking about. And then switch. Just check again that your feet are pointing forwards, both pointing in the same direction. Those pesky feet sometimes want to go their own way. And then very gently bend your back knee, and your heel comes off the ground. Put a bit of weight on it, and you should feel the stretch moving down. Good stuff. Right. We're going to do the quadriceps stretch, your thighs. So if you can, grab your foot. Some people grab their shoe. Some people, if you've got long trousers, grab their trouser leg. Some people put a band around it. Some people put a towel around it. If you can, hold your leg. This is not a balancing one, but you can hold on or not. You can treat it as a balancing one as well. Have your knees together, standing up nice and straight. If you can't do that, then do this, because it's dynamic stretching, it's called. It's very good. See if you can put your hands behind you. See if you can kick your hands with your heels. Okay, so start doing that. I'm going to do a static stretch. Because I get more benefit like this, I think. And I'm going to practice my balance. Look, Ma, no hands. And then static stretchers, switch legs. Dynamic stretchers, keep being dynamic. Oops. If you have your knees together and tilt your pelvis, it increases the stretch. Imagine that you've got a bucket of water inside your pelvis, and so tilting it back so the bucket goes back, that increases the stretch on your leg. I got this backwards and forwards tilting of the pelvis, because to me, if you're doing that, it seems like it's coming forward, but it's not. It's tilting it back. Right, cease and desist. We're going to do hamstrings. Sitting on the edge of your chair, knees at 90 degrees, back nice and straight. Put one leg out, pull your toe back, and sitting up nice and straight, lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. So you're leaning your whole body forward. Just don't topple off the chair. And then sitting up again. A repeat on the other side. So nice and straight back. Lean forward from the hips, not the waist. And if you want to make it a bit more challenging, just make sure your toe is pulled back. How many of you can touch your toes without bending your legs? I don't want to encourage you to fall. Try this in your own time, not at the moment, but can you touch your toes without touch the floor? That gives a good, I'll show you, a good stretch. Right. Last one, sitting down. This is the one some of you find hard. So you're going to be sitting sideways on the chair, but this cheek is not on the chair. It's only this bit, only this leg that's on the chair, so that the chair doesn't get in the way. And then you're going to stretch this leg out behind you. Now, some people are saying they can't do this one. You maybe can't do it right out like that, but if you can just do it any which way and you can get a stretch here, these muscles here, because those are your hip flexors. So we want to make sure your torso is upright and this leg is back. Just do the best you can as long as you're getting a stretch here. And that's why you're on the edge of the chair, because so the chair doesn't get in the way. If you're worried about the chair tipping, have it against the wall or sit a little bit further this way, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose if you're sitting, it doesn't get in the way too much. Anyway, do it so as you're safe. And then we're going to switch round. I have to move this way. And then stretching this leg out behind. Try not to lean forward when you're doing it. You get more of a stretch here if you're upright. Okay. So, arms at shoulder height, palms facing forwards. We're going round the tree, so it's like that rather than that. It is very jerky today. And then dip your head. So your arms are sort of coming out here. I like this stretch. And then if you can, interlink your hands behind your back. If you can't, just try and get your elbows together. And if you're interlinking, just lift your arms up slightly so that you've got that stretch across your chest. And then release it. And we're going to put one hand up, palm facing back, down your back. If you've got shoulder mobility problems, leave this stretch out. It's going to be like that. That's what it looks like. And then you're just going to pull your elbow back a bit just to get a stretch here. And then release and do it on the other side. Always feels funny to say release because that's the command I give to the dog when I'm releasing him from staying, as it were. Okay, final little bit. We've gone from the feet right up to the head. So sitting in the chair, don't use the back, use your own muscles to support you. Dip your head, put your hand on your crown, but don't push, just let the weight of your hand push down slightly. And then we're going to turn your head, just your head, not your shoulders, to the left as far as it'll go. And then put your right hand on the right hand side of your chin. Try and turn your head back to the center, but resist with your hand so that you're creating tension in your neck. So have that fight going on between your head and your hand, and then relax, and you should be able to turn your head just a little bit more to the left, a fraction more. Just hold it there for a few seconds, and then bring your head back to the center, and then turn it to the right. Put your hand on your chin. Try and turn your head back to the center. Have that fight going on, and then release, and see if you can turn your head just a little bit more to the right. And then bring your head back to the center. And that's it for today's class. Thank you. Yes, it is. Thank you very much for attending. If you've got any feedback or anything that you want to say, please feel free. I always love hearing from you, actually. I particularly like hearing when people's lives seem to be improving because of the exercise. They can do things that they couldn't do before. It's really good to hear that. Okay, see you on Monday if you're doing the strength class. Next week if you're going to do the functional fitness.